All the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears come down to a final 40 minutes of football. The Atlanta Steam, the Seattle Mist, Legends Cup 2017, next!
I just want to be given the chance.
You were the pioneers that built women's football.
The opportunity to succeed. Or even to fail.
You are the league of their own.
Figure out what the you need to do mentally to be able to sacrifice everything for the girl next to you.
You better knock the shit out of it.
Put the hurt on them first. Keep them on the ground. Stick your foot on their throat.
We are in Los Angeles, California for the 2017 Legends Cup. Welcome inside the booth of LFL Football Night. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco, the 2017 Legends Cup. We've got an improbable matchup for you, the Atlanta Steam versus the Seattle Mist. Why do I say improbable? Only because the Chicago Bliss had beaten the Atlanta Steam a league record 6 straight times before falling to them in the Eastern Conference Championship. Now, with this matchup, Atlanta versus Seattle, they've never played one another prior. So I ask you, my broadcast partner, what can we expect of this game?
As a former quarterback, I'm biased. I'm going to be watching the quarterbacks. This will be the greatest matchup of starting quarterbacks in the history of the Legends Cup. For Atlanta, you have Dakota Hughes. In 2014, she was the Rookie of the Year. She's on the brink of greatness every year, but she can't get over that Chicago hump. Well, guess what? She got over that Chicago hump. She's in command of this offense. It's going to be fun for the Atlanta fans to watch her tonight. Then for Seattle, you have 5'3", KK Matheny, only 5'3", but she plays like a 6-foot quarterback. She's been in this system now for 3 years. She knows it inside and out, and she's finally going to her go-to receiver, Jade Randall.
Now, you talk about the two quarterbacks being the best starting quarterbacks in Legends Cup history. I would echo that sentiment. Really impressive seasons from both of them. Now let's flip to the defensive side of the ball. This is an element of the game that's really peaking for both of these two teams at just the right time. Atlanta Steam, well, they held a very high-powered Chicago offense to a mere 6 points in the Eastern Conference Championship. And what did the Seattle Mist do against Ashley Salerno in Los Angeles? And they held them to 13 points. So you're talking about a pair of defenses that are peaking at just the right time. What impresses you about their personnel for both these teams?
Well, for Seattle, it's Jade Randall. Coming off the edge, there's nobody like her. Tonight, I expect her to get after Dakota Hughes all night long, and her motor, it never stops. The other main part of that defense is Danielle Hawkins. She was a nominee for Defensive Player of the Year, and nobody in the LFL has a nose for the football like her.
Now, on the defensive side of the ball for Atlanta, what impresses you there?
Well, this team, they're a collective defense, but what really stands out is the cornerback play and the middle linebacker play. And they're all rookies, by the way. Cornerback Amber Clark had a record year for herself this year. Last year, that was the Achilles heel. Everybody could go after her. This year, it is a strength. And the story of the year is the middle linebacker, Jessica Salazar. In my opinion, the MVP of this team. She goes after the football, takes great angles, and has deceptive speed going after running backs.
These are the people that have been by your side for the last 9 months, okay, that have gone through practices in the rain, in the freezing cold, that have played through injuries, that have played through hard times in their lives, right? And these are the girls that have been here for us through those times as well. We're never gonna get this moment back.
I'm not trying to take a 5-hour ride back home without a championship. 7 years I've been playing in this game. In 7 years, this is the most perfect it's ever felt. I can look each and every one of you in the eye and say I believe in every last one of you.
We will see how these defenses match up against serious offensive firepower. Who will cement their legacy in the history books? The 2017 Legends Cup. Kickoff is next.
LFL Mobile, giving you access to the gridiron goddesses of the LFL with exclusive photos, videos, live game reporting, and fan promotions. LFL Mobile. Download on your Android or iPhone.
As the sun is starting to set here in the City of Angels, we are ready for kickoff of Legends Cup 2017. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco on the call.
Two elite LFL teams. This one is guaranteed to be exciting and explosive.
That is Lauren Ziegler with a kick that sails into the end zone. Dominique Malloy a little cavalier in going back to the ball. And we get our first look at KK Matheny. who we sat down with earlier.
The difference between winning and losing Legends Cup is everything. That feeling that you get when you win is literally like no other in sports. It's what you aspire for. It's literally everything. And losing is obviously the opposite. It's the flip side of the coin. And I don't want that feeling again.
KK Matheny is on a mission tonight. Look at those stats this year. 13 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. She's ready to go.
A 1st and 10 ball at the 15 of Seattle. That is Stevie Schnorr flanked in the backfield. The handoff goes to Schnorr, back to Matheny, down the field, and connecting. That is Jade Randall fighting through arm tackles and into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. That did not take long, all of 15 seconds. We talked about KK Matheny and Jade Randall not having chemistry. They kind of blew that argument out of the water with a 35-yard connection.
Gotta love this play call by Chris Michelson. Everybody in the world thought Stevie Schnorr's getting the ball. She flicks it back to KK. She takes a shot, throws to Randall, who makes an incredible catch. And watch what she does here. She throws the all-fantasy player Adrian Purnell into the wall and then takes 2 defenders into the end zone. Just incredible play.
Just a pure physical specimen, Jade Randall. We always talk about her smarts, being a Harvard grad, but how quickly she's picked up this game of football is nothing short of phenomenal. And that'll be intercepted, the 2-point conversion by Lauren Ziegler. So the Atlanta defense finally coming up big here after giving up a 35-yard touchdown to Jade Randall. Our score will remain 6-0 Seattle.
What a start for Seattle. They won the title 2 years ago. They're coming out throwing. Nobody expected that on the first play of the game. And I got to hand it, I can't tell you what kind of shot KK Matheny took. I didn't know she was going to get up. She was on the ground afterwards, stumbling out. Great play by Seattle.
A look at Dakota Hughes' 2017 numbers. Very similar to KK Matheny with the touchdown to interception ratio. From the shotgun, a 1st and 10 down the field. And overshooting her target, Lauren Ziegler. Atlanta not shy with the play calling early. We met with Dakota Hughes to talk about the pressure of the Legends Cup.
Being 19 and entering my first Legends Cup, it was my 3rd game ever. I really didn't have an appreciation for how hard it is to get there, and to be there now for the 2nd time in 4 years, it kind of makes me appreciate that hard work a little bit more, and might as well finish strong holding that cup in the air.
When I spoke with Dakota, we compared that moment to Dan Marino's career in the NFL. He got to the Super Bowl quick and never made it back. She appreciates being here tonight. I look for a big game from Dakota Hughes.
A 2nd and 10 completion with Lauren Ziegler. That'll be a 4-yard connection, setting up a 3rd and 6 as we meet Atlanta's starters.
Molly Richardson, wide receiver.
Lauren Ziegler, wide receiver.
Ariana Barton, your tight end. Adrian Purnell, your tight end.
Dino Jowski, center.
Jesse Locklear, running back.
Dakota Hughes, quarterback.
As you can see already, Atlanta's game plan is to get the ball to Lauren Ziegler, their star wide receiver, in space and let her do the rest.
A 3rd and 6 for this Atlanta offense. Already down 6 points. They'll go to the workhorse. That is Jesse Locklear. Limited to only 2 yards on the carry. Ball out to the Atlanta 21-yard line. As we meet Seattle's starters.
Kiera Williams, corner.
Jessica Hopkins, corner. Michelle Angel, safety.
Jade Randall, safety.
Stevie Schnorr, linebacker.
Danielle Hawkins, defensive end.
Katie Whalen, defensive end.
A big part of Seattle's game plan will be around Stevie Schnorr. She has to control that inside running game.
A vital 4th and 4 early here. Dakota Hughes from the shotgun. Now going to take off with it herself. And that'll be more than enough. A gain of 7 yards. That'll move the sticks for Atlanta.
A great downfield block by Efezekai to open it up for Dakota to get that 1st down. We mentioned last week in the conference championship game how effective she is when she runs. She's not pretty, but she gets yardage every time.
Deceptively fast is number 18. Not known as one of the more pure scramblers like Tashay Winfrey or Ashley Salerno, but can be very effective. This is a 1st and 10 handoff. Jessie Locklear. Again, Locklear limited to only 2 yards. That time tackled by Stevie Schnorr.
Jessie Locklear, she lacks the wow traits, but all year long she gets positive yardage, usually 3 to 5 yards just like that. She's not a superstar, but she gets the job done.
Definitely not one of the more athletic backs in the league, but as you mentioned, just bites away at the apple, 3, 4, 5 yards, and ultimately that adds up. A 2nd and 8 now. Ball at the Seattle 20-yard line. This Atlanta offense knows it has to keep pace with that high-powered Seattle offense. That is an inside handoff. Jessica Salazar breaking free and into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Wow, Salazar has no holes in her game. They're on offense. We talk about our defense at middle linebacker. They are lined up behind the tight end. They came inside with it. Great block right there. She breaks 2 tackles. Williams, and then Michelle Angel, who is a great defensive back, cannot bring her down. What an athlete from Miami, Jessica Salazar.
Salazar spinning her way through one of the more pure tacklers in the game, Jade Randall, and then stiff-arming Michelle Angel into the end zone. We certainly did not expect this kind of explosiveness from a rather very conservative Atlanta run game. This is a 1-point conversion. Toss right, Brittany Demery colliding. That time with Kiara Williams will not convert. And that'll take us to our first media timeout. And we are all tied up in Legends Cup 2017. Back to LFL football night, a look at Hollywood Boulevard as the big game has landed in Los Angeles. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco on the call with a 6-6 game.
I noticed a lot of paparazzi around the game tonight. What a setting for the Legends Cup, Los Angeles, California.
That is from the shotgun handoff, Dominique Malloy. A 7-yard carry. You got to see the speed of Malloy there.
Yes, Malloy has world-class speed. She is a difference maker. She turns the corner better than anybody in the league, and she's the fastest player in the league. With her and Stevie Schnorr, maybe the best 1-2 running combination in the league.
That 7-yard run now setting up a 2nd and 3. Ball already at the Seattle 22-yard line from the shotgun. This is Matheny over the middle, deflected and intercepted. That looked to be intended for Shay Norton, and Norton could not handle it. That is Alfie Gore, a big-time turnover.
This ball is perfectly delivered by KK Matheny. Bounces up. Alfie Gore, the veteran, all over it. What a turnover for Atlanta.
Do you want a ring or not? Just fucking play like it.
That is Chris Michelson. Not happy at the effort of Shay Norton, which led to that turnover. As Atlanta's offense back in business, 1st and 10 from its own 19-yard line. Hughes again faking the handoff, connecting with her favorite receiver. That is Lauren Ziegler, good for 16 yards.
That is the game plan. Get it to Ziegler. She's had a great season. You see there 20 receptions, 5 TDs, just a great wide receiver. The game plan is, you heard about Yak, yards after catch. Get her the ball in space, and she can run through any secondary. That's what they're doing.
Ziegler now the #1 ranked receiver in the LFL and was inducted into the 2017 Hall of Fame just last night. And that's a high snap over the head of Hughes, now dumping off to Adrian Purnell. Purnell not able to hold on, and that has been the source of a lot of criticism here in Atlanta, has been the center play for Dina Wojcicki.
Hey, that garbage bullshit ain't happening in this game. Oh, that garbage play. That's garbage play.
Every week this season, center Dina Wojcicki does this over the head of the quarterback. Thank God they have an athletic quarterback, delivers a strike here. And it was a focus drop by Adrian Purnell. She would have been smoked anyway. But every week, Wojcicki snaps high. I just don't understand it.
How that personnel change has not happened yet is mind-blowing, considering the issues Wojcicki has had at center. That is a handoff to their power back, Brittany Demery. Demery gaining 3 yards.
You mentioned about the snap from Wojciechowski. It happens every week, and it costs them games. And in the championship game, you can't have a center snap come up like that.
Wojciechowski really seems to have a tough time from the shotgun formation. So if you're committed to Wojciechowski at center, at least move Dakota Hughes under center.
Well, that's it. If you can't correct a problem, just do an under center snap so you don't have a problem. Correct.
A 3rd and 7, Brittany Demery again in the backfield. They're going to go toss left, Demery cutting back inside, and a gang of Seattle tacklers. She will gain 6 yards on the carry.
You got to love the way Demery goes to the target hole. With these two teams, you have Demery on one side, Stevie Schnoor on the other, 2 of the best power backs you can see in the LFL. She just took half the Seattle team for a 6-yard gain.
This is one of those unique matchups where we do see 2 predominant power backs in Brittany Demery and Stevie Schnoor, both wearing the number 2, by the way. But I like what they're doing here. A lot of great balance offensively for Atlanta. The one concern, again, is going to be center play as this game moves on. Now a 4th and 1 for the offense. Dropping back, Dakota Hughes, release play, and deflected and into the arms of Lauren Ziegler. That'll be a touchdown, Atlanta.
The play is never over with Lauren Ziegler. She was not the intended target. Watch this. Adrienne Purnell wide open. Again, she can't come down with it, but the ball hawk, Lauren Ziegler, waiting there out of her hands. What a play by Ziegler to give more points to Atlanta.
Purnell was wide open on the release play. Not one of the better hands in the game, Adrienne Purnell. Very luckily, Lauren Ziegler was in the same zip code.
She is such a great athlete. She could have stayed on the other side of the field. It was designed to go to Adrienne Purnell, but she came over late just in case something like that might have tipped up, and she gets a touchdown.
Now the 2-point attempt for Atlanta. Ball at the 3-yard line. That is Dakota Hughes, quick slant, and complete. Again to Lauren Ziegler. That'll extend Atlanta's lead 14-6.
We spoke about Lauren Ziegler's talent right there. She was covered. The old saying, she's open when she's covered. That ball was a strike right in her gut, and she held on for points.
An impressive looking drive by Atlanta, a 5-play, 31-yard drive that chewed up nearly 3 minutes of the clock. This Atlanta team really believes after beating Chicago that they could play with anybody. The first time in 6 attempts.
That big old bitch nailed the shit out of me.
Michelle Angel going after the quarterback, taking early shots at her, trying to beat her down, but you can't beat down Dakota Hughes.
Seattle's offense back out on the field. Ball at the 15-yard line. That is Malloy in motion at the bottom of your screen. Now down the field to Randall.
Why isn't she running? Run, baby, run.
You can see KK Matheny not happy with Jade Randall's effort down the field. She may have cut off the pattern.
That is the same play they used in the conference championship game. They fake the jet sweep, and it brings the defensive backs up, and then Jade Randall goes deep. Right there, KK Matheny thought that Randall stopped running the pattern.
And we are under a minute here in the first quarter. The Seattle offense facing a 2nd and 10. Jade Randall has been flying down the field all night, but this time they're going to hand it off to Stevie Schnoor. And what a tackle by Jessica Salazar. We saw what the rookie did on the offensive side of the field, and there you got a glimpse as to why she is the starting middle linebacker now for the Atlanta Steam.
What a season she is having. She didn't start at the beginning of the season. She came on strong. Look right there, 16 tackles. Just a solid, outstanding year for Salazar.
Atlanta actually started the season with Dina Wojciechowski at middle linebacker, quickly saw the talent of Salazar, and made that move. That'll do it for us here in the first quarter, a quarter that we've seen a lot of offensive fireworks, with Atlanta taking a 14-6 lead here in Legends Cup 2017. Back to LFL football night, Legends Cup weekend in Los Angeles. It has been fun. The awards ceremony last night and the big game this afternoon. We're now into the second quarter. Seattle's offense goes to work. That is a handoff to Stevie Schnoor. Schnoor, a league MVP nominee, chews off about 6 yards on that carry.
For a big power back, she is so explosive off the snap and getting to the hole. Before you know it, she's by you just like that. She was by the line of scrimmage, 6 yards down the field again. It seems like every time we talk about Schnorr, it's a 6-yard gain.
Now a very manageable 4th and 3 for this offense. An offense that broke out on the very first play of the first quarter with Matheny connecting with Jade Randall on a 35-yard touchdown. A little more conservative play calling since then. A 4th and 3. Wide open is Malloy, but she's going to go down to Jade Randall. Randall gaining 9 yards. That'll be good enough for a first down.
KK Matheny likes to make it exciting. You're right, Malloy was wide open on a quick post. She didn't throw it. She scrambled back and does what KK Matheny does, slings it out there to Jade Randall and got the first down.
Seattle's offense the best in the league at 4th down conversions, not to mention the #1 ranked offense and the most scored points at 340 points this season.
That is just incredible for an LFL season, that many points. But when you have a quarterback like this who can do so much passing and running, that's when you rack up points.
A 1st and 10 ball at the Atlanta 19. Matheny back to pass, big pressure off the edge, forcing Matheny in the open field. And the 5'3" quarterback gains 15 yards on that carry.
Just what we were talking about. Her elusiveness in the backfield. Watch this. Fox Burble came in on a safety blitz. She made like it was nothing, makes a jump cut back out for a huge gain. She can destroy you against a blitz.
That was Jessica Salazar chasing down KK Matheny. Matheny is known for keeping plays alive. I always look at Doug Flutie when I look at KK Matheny. Very similar in stature, obviously, but just keeps plays alive until something happens.
Exactly like Flutie, but right there, she told me in an interview, she scrambles to throw the football, but if the run is there, she'll take it like she just did.
That 15-yard run setting up a 1st and goal. That looked like Stevie Schnorr. This could be a false start on Seattle.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Head referee J.C. Holt. That'll be a false start on Seattle. That is key field position to be getting backed up from.
And it came from Stevie Schnorr, the veteran. She usually will not be like that, especially in a championship game in the red zone inside the 10-yard line. You can't jump like that.
Seattle had a 1st and goal inside the 4-yard line. Now backed up to about the 9-yard line.
That changes the whole play call process. Right now, I'm sure they're going to throw it being 9 yards out instead of inside the 10 like they were.
Seattle backed up to the 9-yard line. They're going to fake the handoff to Malloy, going down the field, nearly intercepted. Lauren Ziegler had a gift-wrapped interception dropped as we meet Seattle's offense.
Jade Randall, wide receiver.
Danielle Hawkins, tight end.
Shay Norton, tight end. Nicole Peterson, your center.
Dominique Malloy, running back.
Stevie Schnorr, running back.
KK Matheny, quarterback.
Coach Michelson told me tonight's game plan, you're going to see KK Matheny throwing to her go-to receiver, Jade Randall, more often than you did all year long.
2nd and goal, ball remains at the 9-yard line. Stevie Schnorr flanking to the right side of Matheny, now checking down to Schnorr. And Schnorr bulldozing her way into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
KK Matheny makes up for the last pass. Watch this. She makes something happen, scrambling, somehow finds Stevie Schnorr breaking across the middle, and Schnorr does the rest. Great athletic play by KK Matheny. She takes a shot, but touchdown Seattle.
Quit fucking celebrating. Look at me. I want to X out, but I want to reverse it to Z out. I want the left side. It's steam left, arrow, Z out.
How about the patience of KK Matheny to allow that play to develop? It felt like that was a setup for Schnorr. Schnorr got in the open field, and nobody's going to tackle her there.
That was very Flutie-like. Making time, making something happen, improvising, and getting the points on the board for Seattle.
This will be a 2-point conversion, high snap. That was intended for Shay Norton, deflected. Jessica Salazar all over the field here in the first half.
That's why she's starting at middle linebacker. She can go, she's not like an alligator. She can go side to side, and she showed it right there. Great coverage.
Listen, KK, you don't have time to fucking do triple fakes. You gotta just read it.
It's a bad snap, coach.
I understand that, but you gotta see right away, before the snap, the fucking Z out's wide open.
Okay.
So guess what? You just lay it up there. If you don't see it, you don't see it. But you know it's gonna be there.
That was the call, Z out. He wanted the Z to get the ball. KK made something else happen. No points on the board. Coach Michelson always tells me that KK has got to focus on what the play call is and then make it happen.
Matheny does have a bit of creative freedom in this offense, but from time to time, this offense is very succinct. There's a specific scheme in place, and when it's not executed, Chris Michelson is not happy.
Especially in a championship game. Maybe early in the season you can get away with that, but not in a title game.
A 2nd and 9 after that 1-yard run by Jesse Locklear. A high snap. Now looking to Fezekai. That ball was behind and high. There's not been a lot of success between Dakota Hughes and Fezekai. As we talked about, Fezekai signed really late, in essence, for a playoff run.
Well, that's it. She came in so late. They didn't practice together. Their timing's off, as it showed right there. That ball was behind her, but she has to idle down and catch that ball. It hit her in the hands.
The ball remains at the Atlanta 16-yard line. This has been a back-and-forth game with these two offenses. A 3rd and 9. Now Hughes just trying to buy time, rolling left, throwing across her body. That was again intended for a Fezekai, setting up a 4th and 9.
I don't know if it's nervousness or just actually being too excited for the championship game, but right now Dakota Hughes has thrown a lot of high footballs.
Holding offense number 9. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
That penalty on Ariana Barton, the right side tight end. So instead of a 4th and 9, now it'll be a 4th and 15.
Going back to the play before the touchdown for Seattle, Lauren Ziegler dropped an interception. I can't tell you how big that is in a championship game. That would have stopped the bleeding. Instead, the next play, Seattle scores a touchdown, so it's pretty much a 14-point swing. That was huge.
The pressure now back on the square shoulders of the Canton, Georgia native Dakota Hughes. Dropping back to pass now under pressure and sacked. That is the rookie, Kiara Williams. Lines up at corner normally, but coming in hot from the defensive end position.
She came in hot, you're right, like a shark in the water. Went after Hughes, went high, so she couldn't throw the football. She had to tuck it. Humongous play for Seattle. Wow.
This could be a very big turn of events here as the offenses have been going back and forth. This is the first time we've seen a defense take a stance, and of all people, from the rookie, Kiara Williams.
Kiara Williams, everybody knows her brother plays for the Seattle Seahawks. She played like a veteran right there. What a blitz, what a run at Dakota Hughes. It gives KK Matheny good field position again.
A 1st and 10, about 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. That is a lot of play action. Looking for Jade Randall into the end zone. Great coverage by Amber Clark.
We talked about Amber Clark in the pregame. She came on strong here at the end. She's a cover corner going against Jade Randall, last year's MVP. Unbelievable blanket coverage. Great play.
Atlanta has been looking for a pair of cover corners ever since being torched for the last 3 seasons. They feel like they've found them in Amber Clark and Quilla Franklin.
Absolutely. They do the Cobra blitzes from the outside on the corner, and it destroyed LA. Let's see if it can destroy Seattle tonight.
A 2nd and 10 handoff to Stevie Schnorr, and why not? Schnorr gaining 4 yards. Tackled by Brittany Demery.
Wow, Demery going against Schnorr. That's unstoppable force meeting immovable object. That is football at its best.
Schnorr coming into this Legends Cup as the league's #1 rusher with over 300 yards, as you could see there, 346 yards. And a career-high 13 touchdowns.
And 7.5 yards per carry for a fullback. That's unbelievable.
Now a 3rd and 6, ball at the 7-yard line. Fakes the toss play, Matheny, and just getting rid of it. That could have been a grounding call, although she was outside of the tackle box. Setting up a 4th and 6. On a crucial down, let's meet the Atlanta defense.
Amber Clark, cornerback.
Lauren Ziegler, corner. Adrian Purnell, the strong safety.
Cetrice Fox-Birdwell, safety.
Jessica Salazar, middle linebacker. Keon Harrison, defensive end. Brittany Demery, defensive end.
In the conference championship game, we saw Lauren Ziegler shut down A.J. Johnson, the talented wide receiver from Chicago. It's going to be interesting if Ziegler can shut down Jade Randall tonight.
It looks like we're not going to get another playoff here before the 2-minute warning. In a game that has gone back and forth, Atlanta leading it 14-12.
Guys, you want to fucking win this game, you got to make fucking big plays. We're mapping it out for you to fucking win, and we're fucking shitting it away. You got to make the fucking plays in the big games, or it doesn't mean shit.
We welcome you back for the final 2 minutes of LFL football night here in the second quarter, as head coach Chris Michelson of Seattle urging on his offense with a vital 4th and 6 coming up.
He is stressing to all these big players. Jade Randall already had a big play the first play of the game. Now he's calling on everybody to come up with something this down.
Ball at about the 7-yard line of Atlanta. A toss right, and that is a fumble. I'm not sure which Atlanta defender got back in the backfield, but they look like they got shot out of a cannon. Dominique Malloy had no chance at recovering that fumble.
Adrian Purnell, she looked like she was shot out of a cannon. You're right. She looked like a lion going after a gazelle. In Malloy, what a play for Atlanta.
Let's go, let's go. Get the fuck off the field. First and 10, Atlanta. Damn, there ain't no fucking timeout. If you don't see a flag, you fucking call timeout. That was the instructions. Why are we trying to bullshit and do that play? You think you're gonna get the call? It doesn't matter if you thought it. If you don't see the fucking flag, you call a timeout. I'll deal with him after that. God damn it.
A 1st and 10, Atlanta returning back to the field. That is an inside handoff. Jessica Salazar. Salazar trying to fight her way to the edge. A great looking tackle by Jade Randall.
Jade Randall has done that all season long. Watch the form tackle. This is tough to do. Salazar is a beast, and Randall just slings her to the ground. That is defensive football at its best.
You could see Jade Randall really came on toward the latter half of the 2017 season, but when she did, you could make an argument she was the most dominant defender in the league.
There's no question. She is an elite player on both sides of the football, but on defense, I think she might be the best.
A 2nd and 9, and that sailed well over the head of Lauren Ziegler. We have seen Dakota Hughes be a little off this half.
You'll see it's a post pattern, and you see the safety, Angels behind her. When that happens, you have to throw the ball flat, not up in the air. Throw it flat, and that's a completion of Ziegler underneath the safety.
Atlanta's offense very fortunate that defense held inside the goal line, and Atlanta gets to preserve this lead and still stay within their scheme offensively. And really what's worked has been the run game to this point.
Absolutely. You get the feeling this might be Atlanta's night, the breaks they're getting, that deflected touchdown by Ziegler.
Possibly down the field, intended for Ziegler. And you could see Dakota Hughes very hot about this being a pass interference, as is Lauren Ziegler. We'll take another look at this. It looked like great coverage by Kiara Williams on the outside.
I think in a championship game, you let them play. Unless it's blatant, that's just decent play in competition. She did not interfere right there. I know Ziegler's looking for it, but great coverage by Williams.
Make that melee rich. That was number 16 in coverage. The 5th-year veteran corner. Not known exactly for her coverage skills, but was toe-to-toe with Lauren Ziegler.
Ziegler, one of the best in the game. That was absolutely great coverage.
Let this clock run out so we can punt, all right?
You can hear Dakota Hughes there giving instruction to her huddle. They intend on getting a delay of game that'll back them up inside their own 10-yard line. In the LFL, you can elect to punt offensively if you're at your own 10 or deeper. So they're obviously playing the field position game.
Dead ball, delay game, Atlanta. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
I think that's a great call by head coach Dane Robinson. You have to take the penalty to punt. You have a great athlete who's going to be punting, Dakota Hughes, and then you rely on your defense. They have a solid defense. He's a great defensive coordinator. Let him play.
As sound as this Atlanta defense has been playing, this decision makes a lot of sense. A good high punt. That'll be returned by Kiara Williams. Look at Williams get out into the open field.
Hey, can y'all stop slapping bitches in the face?
Williams on the punt return.
Adrian Purnell making what could have been a touchdown-saving tackle on Kiara Williams.
I'm not sure if that was a tackle or just actually catching the running back. It looked like Williams delivered the blow. That's twice tonight Purnell has taken the brunt of some shots. The first one on that touchdown pass when Randall threw her into the boards.
Now, we didn't know how these two would match up. We talked about it in the pregame show. They've never faced off prior. These seem to be very evenly matched up teams.
This is LFL football at its best. This is a fun game to watch.
A 1st and 10. We are under a minute remaining. Seattle does have both timeouts. An awkward-looking delayed handoff to Jade Randall. They're calling it an incomplete pass. That I don't understand.
I don't know either. She was going to fake the quick post and then do a quick trap to Randall underneath. She got the handoff.
That was head referee J.C. Holt saying that that was an incomplete pass, but that was clearly a handoff from this angle.
And she got the football. It was a legal play. I'm not sure what the refs were thinking.
A 2nd and 10. That does stop the clock, so that'll play in Seattle's favor. But again, with half the field and 2 timeouts, clock really not a factor here. In a tight game and opportunities like this, you've got to capitalize.
Absolutely. Needs points right now. As we mentioned, every time Seattle's on TV, they have the most explosive offense and the playbook of 160 plays. They can score easily within 50 seconds.
A 2nd and 10, ball at the Atlanta 20-yard line. Dropping back to pass, KK Matheny trying to set up that release play that scored. This time shooting it over the head of Stevie Schnorr.
She's trying to do too much, and the actual play is wide open.
Again, Coach Michelson disappointed in his quarterback, KK Matheny. That was not the play call. The play call was on the other side of the field. She said no to that and tried to throw a quick screen to Stevie Schnorr, and obviously Schnorr was not expecting it.
There seems to be a constant battle back and forth with KK Matheny and offensive coordinator Chris Michelson as to the scheme and how it's executed. And now we've got a timeout on the field.
Fucking wide open. Listen, I don't care if you need to stop worrying about the blitzes.
Okay.
The blitzes are coming, and guess what? The actual fucking physical play you're doing is wide the fuck open.
Okay.
You're so worried. I don't give a fuck about them. They're not in Jacksonville no more. They're not in Tampa.
Right.
I don't care about them.
Yep.
If they bring 4 and I'm releasing a line, it's what? Shit, Danielle sitting over there all by herself.
Okay.
All by herself.
Okay.
We've got to see this. Fucking A.
That is twice now in the first half. Head coach Chris Michelson disappointed in Matheny for changing the play. Just stick with the play he called. Right there, KK tried to do something on her own to Schnorr, and Schnorr wasn't ready. Obviously, she should have stuck with the play that Michelson called.
Now on a 3rd and 10, the debate is, do you try to get all 10 here or work underneath where you've had success to set up a manageable 4th down?
Well, what they do, they have reads. They have a system of reads on the same side of the field, so it's easy for her to go 1, 2, 3. I would say you go Randall, maybe deep. If not, then throw it underneath to Schnorr or somebody.
A 3rd and 10, another low snap back to Matheny. A crossing pattern, that is Jade Randall. And Randall getting to the 2nd layer of the defense and into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
What a play call by Coach Michelson. Man-to-man coverage. It was almost a pick underneath. They picked the DB that was covering Randall. She's wide open. Then she does the rest on her own and broke, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but broke Lauren Ziegler's ankle on a jump cut.
One timeout, 42 seconds, end of the half, we're down 4.
That is head coach Dane Robinson setting the stage for the final 41 seconds. But we saw Lauren Ziegler and Amber Clark really take poor angles to Jade Randall And Randall breaking free.
Poor angles, but the jump cut was amazing. Both got faked out, and she walked into the end zone. Again, the best against the best. Right there, Jade Randall got him.
Dead ball, false start. Number 14 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, retry.
That is another false start on Seattle, especially down here in the goal line in key situations, and this time they nailed Shay Norton.
Shay Norton, she's a veteran. She should not let this happen. In fact, the entire team, Coach Michelson, I guarantee, is going to lay into it at halftime for the silly mistakes.
Seattle did manage to regain the lead on the Randall touchdown, capping what was a 3-play, 20-yard drive, but only taking up 17 seconds of the clock. That means Atlanta is going to have enough time when they get this ball back for a shot down the field. Meanwhile, that was the 2-point conversion attempt underneath to Dominique Malloy. That's just not a pattern you run. They needed 7, they got about 4. Let's go to a mic'd up Chris Michelson.
Your ass. Well, then listen and tell her. Then talk to her. You can't just fucking not say anything about it. In the huddle? I don't give a fuck about after. I'm talking about before. If they've been doing it all game, right? Then fix it. Oh no, she's running the fucking route. No, you're going to a fucking route that's an under, so unless she's fucking wide open, you can't hit it because she's got zigs over the top. She don't give a fuck. She's guarding the goal line. So you got to take your chance with her or the arrow.
Coach Michelson very upset at his team right now. They're making the wrong reads. The players running the wrong routes. They're winning the game, but you know Michelson, it's not perfect. He's not happy.
A 1st and 10 connection. That was Hughes to Lauren Ziegler. A gain of 9 yards, and Ziegler very smart to get out of bounds. That'll conserve some time.
With these 2 for Atlanta, 37 seconds is more than enough time to answer with a touchdown.
This has been a back and forth game, but we've seen defenses kind of anchor in here toward the end of the second quarter. Let's see if Seattle's defense has another stop in them. A 2nd and 1, Hughes back to pass, stepping up in the pocket, nearly intercepted by Kiara Williams. And how about the play of Williams here?
Williams is a great defensive back. We talked about her for a few weeks now, but the throw by Dakota Hughes, not good at all. You have a 6'1" Efezikai, throw it high and give her a chance.
A 3rd and 1 as offensive coordinator Mark White and Dakota Hughes talk over the strategy. This would be a big boost in the locker room if you can go in regaining the lead. Atlanta coming into this game as a 7-point sportsbook underdog, trailing this one by 4 here. That is a handoff. Jessie Locklear bouncing off the first defender, able to gain 6 yards.
Mark White tried a quick trap with Locklear underneath. It didn't work as well. The clock down to 23 seconds. You would think they go to their main target.
Well, they did get a stop here. They've got a timeout.
That's their second charge, timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining.
That's a mistake by head referee J.C. Holt, as LFL teams only get 2 timeouts per half, and Atlanta's used both.
They're going to try a fucking cheap shot here. Melee, good job, good break. You guys got to make plays. You've had to miss one. You've had to miss. I mean, we got to make those plays, guys. Okay, listen, squeeze down, all right? You guys in the DN, get that edge, but squeeze in. Don't forget about that part because she's going to try to gut us now. Don't let her get outside. Squeeze, okay?
Hey, if we do not get out of bounds, we're doing that same Memphis play all over again. So if we don't get out of bounds, hurry to the line. I'll wait till we get set.
Dakota Hughes is such a leader, telling her team, if this doesn't work, here's what we're doing immediately because there's only 23 seconds left. That is a veteran quarterback trying to score. I would be shocked, though, if they don't try to get the ball to their number 1 target, Ziegler.
A 1st and 10, ball at the Seattle 20. Atlanta is out of timeouts. That was intended for Lauren Ziegler, well over her head. Maybe they weren't on the same page there from a pattern standpoint.
They tried that play earlier. It's a back shoulder. Get her to the football in space, let her run. The coverage was there. I think Dakota Hughes just threw it away.
Hughes' numbers not very good here in the first half. I'm not sure how much of that is nerves and how much of it is just not having the comfortability with a Jolie Efezikai. Now intended over the middle, nearly intercepted. That was deflected and should have been caught by Jade Randall.
Trying a crossing pattern right there. It might have been interference right there. It was close. They didn't call it. They let him play. Good play by the Seattle secondary.
This is an interesting play, a 3rd and 10 with 16 seconds left. You have no timeouts. So if you work underneath, you got to be really careful that you can either touch the boards, that will stop the clock, or you can get up to the line to quickly kill it.
That's right. There's enough time. There's enough time for 2 plays, but you're right. You have to be accurate and you have to be quick.
A 3rd and 10, receivers all flanked to the right side. Hughes moving right and throwing down the field to Efezikai. Efezikai had about 2 feet on the defender, Michelle Angel, but could not come up with it.
Efezikai has to get better at getting better. She has to work at positioning as a receiver. That's one-on-one. It's almost like boxing out in basketball. She was there, put your butt on a defender and jump up and get the ball.
She seems to be getting in position, but the hand-eye coordination of grasping the ball and bringing it in has not happened here, at least the time that she spent with the Atlanta team.
That's all work. That's the work ethic. During the offseason, she has to work on her hands, and you can, and they will get better.
Has all the physical tools, has just had kind of a mental block here with the Atlanta Steam. A 4th and 10, the last shot. And the Seattle defense coming up big. That is Jade Randall and Stevie Schnorr. Let's listen in.
Wow. I hope that Dakota Hughes is not hurt on that play. She got stood up by Stevie Schnorr with her back to the defense, and Jade Randall just destroyed her.
Yeah, that was major cleanup from Jade Randall. As Seattle now taking over on downs, 5 seconds remaining, and they do have a timeout.
Dakota Hughes, that was not a good play. She had to stay in the pocket and give her receivers a chance, throw it up in the end zone. She got sacked. Now Seattle does have a chance.
KK Matheny certainly has the arm to get this into the end zone. And you got to factor this is going to go to Jade Randall. Randall at the bottom of your screen. Matheny a lot of time. Now the pocket collapsing. Number 15 buying time, throwing down the field.
Go in the end zone! Go in the end zone!
Quarterback KK Matheny urging her receivers to get into the end zone. That'll indeed bring us to the end of the first half. A back and forth battle with Seattle leading this one 18-14.
You guys have got to want it more than anything in life. If that ball even touches you, I don't care how wet, how sorry you are, how fucking hurt you are, you make the play. Because this is the championship game. And when you don't make those, guess what? You fucking end up losing and you go, what the fuck happened?
Taking you inside the Seattle Mist locker room as we welcome you back to LFL football night. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco here at halftime of the 2017 Legends Cup. And I think we can all agree, if you're a fan of the LFL, that was a very impressive first 20 minutes of football, living up to all the hype.
Absolutely. Great football in the first half. Well-coached teams, franchise quarterbacks, great defenses. This game feels like a rivalry. This is the first time these two teams ever met. Feels like they've been going against each other 20 years. At quarterback, KK Matheny, solid first half, throwing the ball well. On the other side, Dakota Hughes, she started out throwing high balls all the time. She needs to bring them down, settle down here in the second half.
That could be a case of nerves like you and I talked about early in the game. So Dakota Hughes did struggle. When she does struggle, it is offensive coordinator Mark White leaning on the run game, specifically the rookie running back Jessica Salazar, who really delivered for Atlanta in the first half. Defensively, we talked about both defenses coming on late in the season here. They only allowed a combined 32 points. You may think that's a lot of points, but not when you have the kind of offensive firepower on the field that we're seeing tonight. Now I ask you the question, if there is a wild card here that needs to step up in the second half and can make a big impact, who would that be?
For Atlanta, it has to be free agent pickup Jolie Efezikai from Pittsburgh. She had an outstanding year in Pittsburgh. They brought her in here for one reason: catch footballs, take some heat off of Lauren Ziegler. So far, she's choking a little bit, dropping footballs. She needs to step her game up here in the second half.
Jolie Efezikai may have not found the end zone, but a pair of her teammates did, Lauren Ziegler and Jessica Salazar. First, Salazar with a very impressive 20-yard run, evading multiple defenders en route to the end zone. The newly inducted Hall of Famer Lauren Ziegler connecting later on a 6-yard reception from Dakota Hughes. On the Seattle side, it was their playmaker, Jade Randall, scoring a pair of first-half touchdowns. This first one, a 35-yard connection, then breaking through multiple arm tackles. Just before the half, Randall and Matheny connecting again, this time from 20 yards out. Stevie Schnorr wrapped up scoring with a 9-yard connection with KK Matheny. That brings us to our halftime score of 14-18. Seattle with the edge as we look at the first half stats.
The difference has been fourth down conversions. Atlanta was a mere 2 out of 4, while Seattle was 1 out of 2. Atlanta's been able to move the football. They just can't get into the end zone consistently.
Atlanta certainly has the weapons to get back into this game. It's the Legends Cup. Atlanta, Seattle, both fighting for their place in the history books. The second half kickoff is next.
LFL Mobile, giving you access to the gridiron goddesses of the LFL with exclusive photos, videos, live game reporting, and fan promotions. LFL Mobile. Download on your Android or iPhone.
Back to Legends Cup 2017 as we look at our two starting quarterbacks.
As you can tell, they both are almost even on attempts and completions, but the big number is KK Matheny for Seattle, 3 first-half touchdown passes.
This will be Kiera Williams of Seattle getting us underway. A nice high kick into the end zone, sailing and hitting the back wall. Very smartly, Jesse Locklear electing to take a knee as Atlanta's offense will now take over at its own 15-yard line.
Big offensive series for Dakota Hughes and the Atlanta team here. They need points on the board. They started out on fire after that first touchdown by Seattle. They looked good, and then Seattle late in the game, late in the first half, took over the lead. Hughes has to come through right now in this series.
A 1st and 10, Brittany Demery in the backfield. The ball's going to go to Jessica Salazar. And you know they looked at her at halftime and made the adjustment. Danielle Hawkins on the tackle. A gain of only a yard.
Defensive coordinator David Price, he did make the adjustment at halftime, I guarantee it. He's one of the best in the league. He made the adjustment. Salazar's had that 20-yard touchdown. Not going to happen here early in the third quarter.
This Atlanta team has really struggled with the passing game. The only success they've had has been with Jesse Locklear, Brittany Demery, and Jessica Salazar. This time Locklear in the backfield. They're going to fake it to Locklear, intended for Lauren Ziegler. That'll fall incomplete and set up a 3rd and 9.
That should have been an easy completion. Ziegler was open, get the ball to her, easy pitch and catch. They're not making it happen. They're not clicking. I'm not sure what's wrong with this passing game.
They're going to need it here on a 3rd and 9. This Seattle defense is really starting to get after Dakota Hughes. Hughes in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff again, going to Lauren Ziegler, this time connecting on a very identical play. That is a gain of 6 yards. That'll set up a more manageable 4th and 3. That is Dane Robinson. We talked to him about being an underdog.
I feel like we're always a favorite in any game that we go into, but we're not a Cinderella team. Are we an underdog? Yeah. Are there people that want us to be in this game? Probably not. But tonight we win our first Legends Cup, and it's going to be a great night to be a part of the Atlanta team.
He is right. The majority of the LFL and the LFL fans totally thought Chicago would be here, but they pulled the big upset, and here they are.
A 4th and 3 now for Atlanta's offense. Looking into the flat and connecting. Of all people, that is Jolia Fezekai. We have talked about how much she has struggled in this offense, and when it counted, they called number 15's number.
A real interesting call. You're right. You throw it to a receiver who hasn't caught a ball all night long. I do like the matchup, the 6'1" of Fezekai against the 5'6" Williams. They have a lot of confidence throwing the ball, and she caught it. Got to give her credit.
But on a 4th and 3, if that doesn't connect, you're really setting up Seattle's offense. This is a first down option keeper. Dakota Hughes not fooling anybody. That is Michelle Angel on the tackle, limiting Hughes to 1 yard.
Great read by Michelle Angel, the safety. They know that read option. They ran it a lot this year. And in fact, Dakota Hughes had big gainers off of it. As soon as she saw the fake, Angel came up, made a great stop.
Angel, a pretty good story, coming over from Los Angeles, where she was an all-fantasy safety. And we talked about it before, playing with the Dallas Desire last year, being at an all-fantasy quarterback level. Just a great all-around athlete.
Great quarterback, great safety. Right now leading the league in interceptions.
A 2nd and 9 toss play. That is Brittany Demery finding her way down the field. And look out when she gains any momentum. That was a gain of 7 yards.
She is bad to the bone. When she goes north to south, when she goes head up against a defense, unbelievable.
That was a 7-yard run. This Atlanta offense finally getting some momentum here. And again, it's really being established by the run game, but we did see that big 4th and 3 connection between Dakota Hughes and Efezikai.
I think that's huge. Number one, it gives Efezikai confidence. Her first ball on a 4th down reception. Let's see what happens now.
A 3rd and 2. They're going to keep it in the air. A good-looking slant pattern that time by Lauren Ziegler. A gain of 7. They only needed 2. That'll set up a 1st and goal.
They tried this early in the game and it worked. They faked the inside handoff. It's a quick post underneath the safety in front of Randall. You got to throw a strike, and Hughes did.
That ball was a little behind Lauren Ziegler. We've seen Dakota Hughes really struggle to keep the ball down and lead her receivers. But nonetheless, she connected with Lauren Ziegler. They're setting up a 1st and goal. Their power back, Brittany Demery, gets the toss play. Toss right. Cannot get the edge against Jade Randall.
Jade Randall came up there and did not wrap her arms around her at all. Came up with a shoulder tackle, and Demery ran right through her. Great run by Demery.
A 2nd and goal, ball down to the 2-yard line. Again, you're seeing these offenses at will move the ball up and down the field, but they've kind of struggled and been stymied inside the 10-yard line.
You mentioned Hughes is not sharp right now, but they are moving the football down the field.
Again, a 2nd and goal. Hughes directing some traffic. That looked like Salazar was lined up in the wrong position. Hughes back to pass, trying to find a lane. Nothing there, and all she could do is throw it away.
Ziegler did open up when she came across the end zone, but Hughes was scrambling, trying to do something. When she finally found her, she could not get her the football. Great defensive stop.
Now a 3rd and goal. As the clock continues to run, we are nearing the 4-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. And what has been a very entertaining Legends Cup back and forth.
Seattle coach Chris Michelson cannot be happy with this. Opening up the 3rd quarter, Atlanta going right down the field. Seattle's got the lead, but the defense cannot stop them right now.
A bunch set for Atlanta here on a 3rd and goal. Inside handoff. That is Jessica Salazar. Her 2nd touchdown of the night.
Inside handoff, inside trap. She gets the ball one-on-one against number 7, Michelle Angel. It's just who's the best athlete, who tackles better, who's stronger. Right there, Jessica Salazar.
Melee Rich wanted nothing to do with Jessica Salazar. They've got a lot of power backs and a lot of momentum coming downhill in Atlanta.
If I was the offensive coordinator, I would keep giving the ball to Salazar.
And that's what they're going to do, trying to get to the goal line. This time, Melee Rich making the tackle, and they're not going to give him the conversion.
I'm going to tell you what, that was close. She might have broken the plane.
We're going to get another look at it here from the truck. Michelle Angel going low and Melee Rich going high.
The ruling on the field was that the try was no good. Atlanta has challenged the ruling on the field.
And there you go, Bobby Huco. You saw something that the Atlanta bench did. They think they crossed the plane here. That is a tough angle from this vantage point. It did not look like the nose of the football broke the plane.
I'll tell you what, that was an unbelievable play by Melee Rich. It looked like Salazar was going to break the plane. That's just brute strength. You're right, I'm not sure now at that replay if she got in.
That was a quick review by J.C. Holt and company. And here's the verdict.
The ruling on the field stands. The try is no good.
I think that was the right call. It did not look like Jessica Salazar broke the plane. So our score will remain 20-18, Atlanta in the lead. But that's got to be a bit of a confidence boost to that sideline to continue to rally against a formidable opponent like the Seattle Mist.
The Seattle Mist, they won the title 2 years ago. They almost won last year in Chicago. This is the third straight year they're here. Atlanta, you know what? They have no pressure on them. They got over the hump. They beat Chicago. They have nothing to lose. They look good right now.
A 1st and 10 from the 15. Again, Dominique Malloy to the outside. And tackled by Amber Clark, but not before she gained 9 yards.
I love watching Dominique Malloy run the football. She gets to the edge so quick. She runs like a video game. The fastest player in this game. Great to watch.
A 2nd and 1 play. Ball at the 24 of Atlanta. Fakes the handoff to Schnorr, now dumping off. That is complete to Danielle Hawkins. A 14-yard completion, now Seattle on the move.
I really like that call by Coach Chris Michelson. What's Atlanta been doing the last few games on their win streak? They've been blitzing, bringing everybody, let them come, throw it on a quick release like that, positive yardage.
Now a 1st and 10 toss left. That is Stevie Schnorr cutting back inside. And the Bull, once again in the China shop, touchdown Seattle.
The only team I've seen run a sweep like this is the Washington Redskins. Look at the blocking out front. Just a wall for Schnorr to go behind. Then she does the rest, breaks 2 tackles, gets in.
I love the Washington Redskins reference. Granted, it's from the 80s with John Riggins. We haven't done that in about 30 years in Washington.
It looked exactly like that, though. Perfect design, perfect blocking. They pull out in front of the Schnorr, and she goes in.
Seattle again regaining the lead. This has been a heavyweight fight back and forth. Now the 2-point conversion. This is KK Matheny rolling right and just a little late getting the ball to Schnorr. That'll be intercepted in the end zone by Brittany Demery, keeping our score 24-20 Seattle.
I mean, I just don't get it. Let's wait until somebody covers her. That's the motto.
Coach Michelson told me this before the game. Even though KK Matheny's an elite quarterback, every game on plays like that, she throws the ball too late. The receiver's open. She waits till they're covered, then throws it.
A 1st and 10 Atlanta now back on the field. From the shotgun, Hughes pump fakes. Now throwing down the field, has a receiver. And that is Lauren Ziegler. You knew it was just a matter of time before these two connected.
It does not get better than that. Tom Brady could not throw this football any better. She faked it. Ziegler went on a 9 pattern, a go pattern. She was covered like a blanket. The only way you throw it on the outside, shoulder deep. Perfect throw, great catch by Ziegler.
A 33-yard connection between Lauren Ziegler and Dakota Hughes. You saw the arm of Hughes. And that's one of the things I think the offensive coordinator, Mark White, will tell you, as will Dakota Hughes. It does not matter how many she misses. She's got tunnel vision. She forgets about that. She moves on to the next play. That's a handoff to Jessica Salazar. Melee Rich starting to play some football here. That'll set up a 2nd and goal.
Again, David Price made the adjustment. That play is not working anymore. Melee Rich again came up, stopped Salazar for nothing. Great play.
A 2nd and goal play for this Seattle defense. And perhaps these offenses are starting to wear down these defenses. We're seeing them move the ball up and down the field almost at will.
We have 2 highly rated defenses playing tonight. I really thought there'd be a lot more stops than we're seeing. Right now, it's a windshield wiper game. Each offense going bam, up and down the field.
A 2nd and goal. We are officially under a minute here in the 3rd quarter. Kind of a wishbone set for Atlanta. Dropping back to pass, has Lauren Ziegler in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Lauren Ziegler, she is having an unbelievable night. I don't know how Michelle Angel lets her open. Gets right behind her, one-on-one. Hughes puts it out there in the corner. More points for Atlanta. They're back in it.
If there's one person you want to keep a second set of eyes on, that's number 14, especially with the way Jolia Fezekai has been struggling, and really no other pass receiving option for Dakota Hughes.
Well, you hit the nail on the head right there. Fezekai, that acquisition, even though she's dropping some balls, they have to respect her because of her speed and her height, and that leaves Ziegler open one-on-one.
This is a two-point attempt by the Atlanta Steam. Brittany Demery down to the goal line, and they're going to give her the conversion. What an answer by Atlanta.
Brittany Demery, just like the bus, taking the kids to school. 2 yards for her is nothing, even if she's carrying half the defense on her shoulders.
So Atlanta answering Seattle's drive with a 3-play, 35-yard drive of their own, capped by this amazing run by Brittany Demery. A run of sheer will. We saw that earlier in the first half by Jade Randall breaking through arm tackles. They know they're playing in a special game tonight.
This is a special game. This is living up to all the expectations for both teams and the league. This is football at its best.
A 1st and 10, Seattle back down the field. And what about the deflection by Amber Clark? Safe to say Atlanta's found a corner.
I like the call, one-on-one, Randall against Clark. You would think Randall would have the edge, being the league MVP last year, but no, Clark. We talked about her in the pregame. One-on-one coverage, she's at the top of the league.
That'll do it for the third quarter. Ziegler and Atlanta surging back.
She can't help but call the 9. Stop calling the 9 route!
Was she bit down?
No, the fucking safety came down just as anticipated!
Okay.
You are so fixated with that goddamn 9 route, you can't throw for shit, so it doesn't matter. Stop throwing the 9!
Okay.
It's driving me crazy!
For 10 more minutes with the best team I've ever played for. Look to the person to your left and to your right and say, I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna do it for you. Hey, say it loud and proud. Finish. Finish on 3. 1, 2, 3, finish.
A pair of emotional sidelines as we welcome you back to LFL football night. The entire 2017 season coming down to a final 10 minutes here.
You have to think this might be Atlanta's night. Nobody expects them to be here. They knock off Chicago. They're big underdogs tonight. Here we go into the fourth quarter, and they're up 28-24 over a powerful Seattle team.
A 2nd and 10, ball at the 15, another high snap, this time on the Seattle side. And all Matheny could do is throw it away as the pressure was getting after number 15. And her center, the Dallas free agent, really struggling.
We don't want this fucking game. None of you want it. None of you want it.
He is right. Seattle is self-imploding right now. Center Nicole Peterson doing exactly what Dina Wojcicki did on the Atlanta side. The high snaps all night long.
A 3rd and 10, ball remains at the 15-yard line. And the incumbent Western Conference champion trailing 28-24. Matheny faking the handoff to Malloy. Dangerous pass over the middle. That could have been easily picked off by Amber Clark.
This could be game-changing right there. If Amber Clark makes that catch, there is nothing in front of her. She could have taken that to the house. That's game-changing right there. Bad pass by Matheny.
We've seen 2 gift-wrapped interceptions dropped by Atlanta. Earlier in the first half, it was Lauren Ziegler. And certainly there, Amber Clark, like you said, there was nothing but green real estate if she holds on to that ball. A 4th and 10 now for the Seattle offense. A quick screen. That is Stevie Schnorr breaking through arm tackles. And what a play by the 2017 League Offensive Player of the Year nominee, coming up big exactly when this offense needed it.
Seattle goes to their money player when they need it. Stevie Schnorr went one-on-one with Lauren Ziegler. Ziegler could have had her. She did a jump cut, and she got the first down on 4th and 10. What a play by Stevie Schnorr.
That's set up now a 1st and 10 as Seattle moves to the Atlanta side of the field. That is a toss left. And when they need it here in the money time in the fourth quarter, they are going to Stevie Schnorr.
That's what they do. She has a way to get through the noise. Just give it to her, give her a couple blocks, and she'll do the rest.
That was an 8-yard carry by the Canadian, setting up a 2nd and 2. Ball at the Atlanta 15-yard line as we near the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Well, this is how they beat LA in the conference finals. They went to Schnorr, and then they went outside to Malloy.
That is Malloy in motion, and she's going to get the rock on the edge, wide open, and being slammed against the wall by Alfie Gore, but does manage 8 yards on the carry.
I love this offensive package. You give it to Schnorr, your beast going left. You come back with a jet sweep the other way with Malloy, your speedster, and they have that play-action pass over that. That's an offensive package. I wouldn't be surprised to see him do it right now.
A lot of misdirection, and that's what keeps defenses on their toes against this 160-play offense. A 1st and goal now for Seattle. A dribbler back to Matheny, had Shea Norton.
Nicole, get your fucking snaps! Hey! Shea! Oh my fucking God.
Nicole Peterson rolled it back, the snap, which threw the timing off. The ball still should have been caught. It was behind, but Norton should have got that ball. But it started with a center snap. She rolled it to Matheny. You can't do that.
A 2nd and goal. That time Matheny not only had Shea Norton, but Danielle Hawkins also flying wide open. Just did not have the time. Toss right, Dominique Malloy. Malloy still on her feet and getting into the end zone for a Seattle touchdown.
Write this down. Speed kills. Watch how fast she gets around the edge. Nobody in the league gets around that fast. Then she goes through people. Great run. No tackling by Atlanta.
I may want to take a second look at that about Atlanta. It looked like Amber Clark had a hand on Dominique Malloy when she was touching the wall at about the 1-yard line.
I think you're 100% right. That ball should be not in the end zone. It should be on the 1.
Surprisingly, the Atlanta bench electing not to challenge it as Seattle quickly lines up for the extra point. Quick screen to Stevie Schnorr. And Schnorr getting blown up by Fox Birdwell. So the extra point attempt no good.
Good throw here by Matheny. She gets it out quick. Bobbled by Schnorr, which allows Fox Birdwell to come in and hammer her into the boards. But that's a huge mistake by the Atlanta coaching staff. I'm almost positive that was out of bounds. That should not have been a touchdown.
Look, even if you get a stop there, a 3rd and goal inside the half-yard line with a back like Schnorr, chances are Seattle scores, but you'd like to give your defense another shot at it. That's why I was very surprised that Atlanta did not challenge. Now a 1st and 10. Dakota Hughes back to pass over the middle, overshooting her target. That is Michelle Angel, who already leads the league in interceptions and coming up big here for Seattle.
This is a cardinal sin for a quarterback. Running to your right, throwing across your body against the grain, not even open, threw up a lollipop, easy interception for Angel. And then if you look closely, she turns her ankle and she gets hurt on the play.
Jet right, tell them bitches to block like they've never blocked before.
You're right, Dakota Hughes looked like she may have turned her ankle dropping back. She hasn't had the greatest night, but we've never seen her miss like that.
No, she shouldn't even throw the ball there. Just throw it away or even take a sack. Just don't give them the ball on a turnover.
A 1st and 10 reverse. That is Dominique Malloy. Another 9-yard carry by the Pahrump, Nevada native who signed on last year from the Las Vegas Sin, has made a huge impact on this offense.
She is so fast. She makes fast players look slow. I love watching her run the football around the end.
A 2nd and 1, ball at the 5. If there was ever a time for this Atlanta defense to come up with a stop, it's got to be here.
Well, that's it. That turnover was huge. In big games, any league, turnovers win championships.
And if you're wondering, that Seattle defense has a plus 16 turnover margin. That is by far the best in the LFL. Toss right, that is Stevie Schnorr cutting back inside. And through the arms of Brittany Demery into the end zone. How about Stevie Schnorr? You want to talk about commitment to win a championship.
This is a textbook sweep. Look at the lead blockers, but she cuts off, and then look at the poor tackling. Where don't you tackle Stevie Schnorr? Don't go high. She's a bull up there, and she goes right through him.
Now this is a very key extra point attempt. If Seattle lines up for a 2-point conversion, they in essence make this a 2-score game. Very difficult for Atlanta. But if Atlanta can get a stop here, it remains a 1-score game. That is Stevie Schnorr.
Defense, do not get beat deep. Do not get beat deep. Do not get beat deep.
Stevie Schnorr is money in the red zone. She knows when it's the bell lap. Just give her the football, and she'll find pay dirt.
You could see the excitement on that Seattle sideline. They knew that extra point made this a 2-score game. So now if you're Atlanta, you've got to start thinking about scoring pretty quickly here, getting an onside kick, and another shot at the end zone.
They can do it, but they need a big stop by their defense, and they cannot do this.
That is a horrible start, a 1st and 10 missed handoff. And that's even a worse sight if you're an Atlanta Steam fan. Dakota Hughes very slow to get up.
Watch her wrist here when she dives on the football.
Yeah, it looked like her and Jessie Locklear were not on the same page. That'll set up a 2nd and 13 ball at the Atlanta 12-yard line. You could see Dakota Hughes wincing there a bit, a little in pain. Fakes the handoff. Now a quick dart to the outside, nearly intercepted. That seemed to be deflected into the arms of Melee Rich.
It looked like it got right to Ziegler. It looked like a drop to me. I don't know what's going on with her hands tonight. She's one of the best there ever was.
Ziegler had an opportunity at it, dropped it, and Melee Rich almost came up with an interception.
Dakota Hughes right now, she looks beat up. She's limping from when she turned her ankle, and I think she hurt her wrist on that diving for the fumble.
Now a 3rd and 13 from the shotgun. Dakota Hughes rolling left. Cannot get by Danielle Hawkins. This Seattle defense is really turning it up a notch.
You can feel the momentum has totally turned. Seattle looks like the team they were 2 years ago when they won the Legends Cup. They're feeling it right now. Atlanta, on the other hand, can't do anything.
This offense now facing a must-convert down. A 4th and 12. There's a look at Dakota Hughes' ankles. She's moving pretty well there. So hopefully no lingering effects from that earlier injury. This offense now with their backs against the wall. From the shotgun, Dakota Hughes looking to the right and connecting. That is Jolia Fezekai, but 2 yards short of the sticks. And Seattle will now take over on downs.
Can you smell what the bull is cooking tonight? Listen, get me a 1st fucking down and you're gonna be a Legends Cup champ, baby. Hey, block your ass off, girl, and you're gonna have a fucking ring. Block your ass off.
Welcome back to LFL Football Night, and more importantly to Legends Cup 2017. And there's been a turn of the tide here late in the 4th quarter as Seattle has really started to assert itself.
That 4th and 12 stop was the play of the year for Seattle. They could pretty much, if they get a 1st down, run the clock out. On the other side, for Atlanta, Fezekai and the coaches know on a stop pattern, on a hook pattern, you have to get to the sticks to get the 1st down on 4th down. She only got 10 out of 12. That cost them a ton.
We are under 2 minutes remaining as Seattle takes over at the 23 of Atlanta. A good open field tackle. That was by Brittany Demery and Amber Clark. As the clock will continue to run, Atlanta only has 1 timeout remaining, and they're going to need 2 scores.
This is going to be tough to do, especially against an established team like Seattle. They're going to have a strip or try to get a fumble because KK Matheny knows how to run out of the clock.
And I'm not sure why Atlanta did not call a timeout there. They've allowed at least another 30 seconds to go off the clock before the next snap. You have a timeout remaining. You got to use it there.
I agree. This is a couple times now in the second half. We're questioning the coaching staff of Atlanta on their decisions, challenging the touchdown, and here you have to call timeout.
A 2nd and 11 here. So Schnorr actually lost a yard on that previous carry. Another toss left again to Schnorr, and Schnorr with open field, gaining 9 yards. That should set up a 3rd and about 2 as Atlanta finally elects to call its timeout.
Timeout, Atlanta. That's their first charge timeout of the half. They have 2 remaining.
You dance with the one that brung you. Stevie Schnorr, give it to her in the 4th quarter. The 4th quarter is hers.
We're not going to be able to contain our edges. All they're doing is toss right, toss left. It's kind of like our version there, all right? So we've got to get penetration. I need penetration. Need penetration. Game, sell out, sell out. If we're going to, hey, I'm going to go down swinging.
Correction on the field. Atlanta had previously challenged the try, which failed. That was a charge timeout also, so that's their 2nd charge timeout of the half. They now have 1 remaining.
No. No. You only get 2 a half. There's only 2 timeouts a half. There's only 2 timeouts a half. That's their last timeout. Okay. There's only 2 timeouts a half.
Another correction on the field. There's only 2 timeouts per half. So therefore, Atlanta's now out of timeouts. They have no timeouts remaining.
J.C. Holt did not get the memorandum on the timeout rule in the LFL. So indeed, Atlanta is out of timeouts. With a first down, the Seattle Mist become Legends Cup champs.
Only Chris Michelson could be wearing stripes as a head coach and telling the head referee what the rules are on timeouts. I love it.
A 3rd and 2 ball at the Atlanta 15-yard line. And here you go with a first down. You can run out the clock. But without that first down, Atlanta will get the ball back. Toss left, Stevie Schnorr. And tackled by the uniform by Brittany Demry. So Seattle will have to run another play, and it's an epic play. It's a 4th and 1.
You gotta love the heart of Atlanta. Stopping Schnorr short like that, that is hard to do. This game is not over yet.
The clock will continue to run as Seattle will not have to snap the ball till you get down to about the 20-second, maybe 15-second mark. So Atlanta may get the ball back here. A 4th and 1. This is for all the marbles. Schnorr and Malloy split in the backfield. The handoff goes to Malloy and up the middle. Malloy gaining 4 yards and sending Seattle to what's sure to be a Legends Cup championship.
What a call by Coach Michelson. Everybody in the arena thought Stevie Schnorr's getting the ball. He counters with Malloy and she gets the 4, and they got the title. They got the Legends Cup.
Confetti starting to rain down on this Seattle Mist team. Your 2017 Legends Cup champions. Back with the trophy presentation after this.
What a night for the Seattle Mist. This is Bobby Huco up in the box. My partner Mitch Mortazzo going down on the field for the presentation. But this is incredible. Jessica Hopkins, she retires tonight, her last game ever. After 7 incredible years in the LFL, one of the best. Dina Wojcicki, she's got to be heartbroken right now. Along with Dakota Hughes from Atlanta, they put their heart into this game. Nobody thought Dakota would be here. She has not ever won a Legends Cup. She wanted this game so bad. She is only 22. She'll be back. Tonight's all about the Seattle Mist. This is the 2nd time in 3 years they are the champions of the LFL. We're going to take it down to the field. My partner, the commissioner of the league, Mitch Mortazzo, is down on the field with the presentation.
What an afternoon here in Ontario, California. Thank you for coming out and supporting us here. This is the home of the Temptation. However, this afternoon, we saw one whale of a ball game, the Atlanta Steam and the Seattle Mist. Before we honor the Seattle Mist here, I want to give a round of applause to an improbable season, an amazing run for the Atlanta Steam. A round of applause. Michelson and the Seattle Mist, you are Legends Cup champions. That sounds sweet, doesn't it? 2 of the last 3 championships reside now in the Pacific Northwest. Coach Michelson, walk us through this season. You had a lot of new people come in. We saw Danica Brace departing. That was a big blow to this team. You went out and got people like Jade Randall, Danielle Hawkins, Michelle Angel, Nicole Peterson, and the last run here for Jessica Hopkins. This has got to be a very special one from the previous one.
Oh, for sure. You know, good people surround themselves with great people, and I got a bunch of great people in this organization, and this team, it's just amazing. You know, we go through a lot of stuff up in Seattle, and we had some adversity, but these girls are resilient and never gave up, and they continue to work and continue to work. Even in that third quarter when we went down, they came back, they found a way to win, and that's what this team does. They just find a way to win.
Congratulations, Coach Michelson. And our 2017 game MVP is none other than Stevie. Now, you were nominated for Offensive Player of the Year, League MVP. Didn't walk away with that, but you got something a lot more special. And you got Game MVP of the Legends Cup. How does that feel?
You know what? I'd give up anything else. This is all I wanted with these girls. That's all I care about, and that's what I got, so.
Congratulations. Jessica Hopkins, come on over. Now, Jessica Hopkins, for those of you guys who don't know, has had a long run since 2009. She made it official this year that this was going to be her last game, and what a way to finish it, Jessica Hopkins.
Absolutely. I couldn't ask for anything better. This is the way any athlete wants to go out. I can't thank anybody but my coaches and my team and all of our support staff. You know, you guys brought us to this point, so thank you so much for anybody that's finishing up this year. There's no better way to go out, so thank you guys.
And KK Matheny, let's have you say a couple words. KK Matheny, you're going to have a good time tonight. You still have a lot of football ahead of you, but now you're a 2-time champion quarterback. How does that feel?
Like, it literally feels so much better than what I thought it would feel like. I seriously love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. I love this sport so much. I put so much into it. It's a passion that makes our team good. All of us are passionate about this game. And our coaches literally treat us like men. And I know I say that a lot, but it is so true. He lets me call plays that I wouldn't call, like nobody else would call in this league. So, I thank you so much to Coach Chris and all the coaches and our support team and our fans, of course. But seriously, thank you to the coaches, because we wouldn't be here without them. And all you girls, I love you guys so much. We do this for each other, and everybody knows that. This feels so good right now.
What a night for quarterback KK Matheny and head coach Chris Michelson. Their second Legends Cup championship. That'll do it from Los Angeles. For my producer, Brian Petros, my partner, Mitch Mortaza, I'm Bobby Hugo. We'll see you in 2018.